In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on September 20th, 2022, and providing you with team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Detroit Tigers versus Baltimore Orioles. The Detroit Tigers continue their 3-game set in Baltimore as they take on the Orioles in a series that likely has very little playoff ramifications. The Tigers are in last place in the American League Central and have a chance to lose 100 games in the season for possibly the 8th time in team history. The Orioles, on the other hand, will look to finish strong and earn their first winning season since 2016. On the mound in Tuesday night's second game will be lefty Joey Wentz of the Tigers taking on righty Austin Voth of the Orioles. The Tigers are 11-23 in their last 34 road games and 19-44 in their last 63 overall. The Orioles are 9-1 in their last 10 Tuesday games and 2-6 in their last 8 home games. The over is 8-1 in Tigers' last 10 road games. The under is 20-9 in Orioles' last 30 overall. The Tigers are 5-0 in the last 5 meetings in Baltimore and 7-0 in the last 7 meetings. Joey Wentz will make just his 5th career start, and it's hard to figure out who he is given the small sample size. Austin Voth has been hit or miss this season, but he's allowed just 11 earned runs in his last 36.1 innings. Baltimore has been solid at home, and although they have struggled offensively against Detroit this season, they should be able to hit Wentz hard here. The Orioles were swept by the Tigers in Detroit back in May, but this team is much different with the youngsters coming up and they are playing well. Baltimore is also better at home. Detroit is also just 24-46 on the road this year, and as a road underdog, they are 22-46, while Baltimore is 14-8 as a home favorite. Regardless of what you think about the pitching matchup, the Orioles have to win these games if they're going to make the final week interesting. The O's can't lose this game, point blank period. So the Baltimore Orioles money line is our full game side pick. The Orioles are 75-64-7 in hitting the under this season, while the Tigers are 79-55-12. Along with that, in the 3 games they have played against one another, they never went over 7.5 runs, as they averaged just 5 runs per game during that series. In Baltimore's last 10 games, they are averaging 3.8 runs per game, while Detroit's offense is averaging also 3.8 runs per game. Both teams are almost exactly .500 to the over in their last 10 games. With that in mind, I'm leaning on the larger trend of Detroit's futility as an offense overall. The Tigers are worst in baseball in runs per game. They are hitting just .227 on the road and facing Voth and his 2.15 earned run average in his last 5 games. The Orioles should get some runs off of the Tigers' young left-hander, but the Orioles are not a major run-producing team these days, particularly at home. The Orioles have only scored more than 6 runs once in their last 10 games. Both Baltimore and Detroit's offense has struggled this season to score runs. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington Nationals versus Atlanta Braves. The Washington Nationals, who, after beating the Braves in 2 out of 3 games to start the season, have been pure fodder for the world champs, continue their 3-game series with the Braves on Tuesday night. Washington closes in on 100 losses as they have gone into full rebuilding mode after trading away all-star Juan Soto and 1B Josh Bell during the season. The Braves are in a neck-and-neck battle with the Mets for the National League East title, so every victory counts with under 3 weeks left. Tuesday night's pitching matchup will feature lefty Patrick Corbin of the Nationals taking on the Braves' Charlie Morton. Washington is 22-48 in their last 70 games overall and 0-4 in their last 4 road games, while the under is 4-1 in their last 6 games overall. Atlanta is 39-12 in their last 51 home games and 69-28 in their last 97 games overall, while the under is 5-0 in their last 5 games following a win. The Washington Nationals continue their 3-game series in Atlanta against the Braves. Braves. The Nationals have no hope of the postseason this year as they are currently in last place in the National League. The Braves, however, are in lockstep with the Mets for the National League East title. Coming into this series, the Braves are only one game back of the Mets, where claiming the division title will get the bye into the division series. The Nationals will go with left-hander Patrick Corbin on the mound. Corbin has struggled all season, going 6-18 in 29 starts with a 6.11 earned run average and a 1.66 WHIP. Even though Corbin only has a 3.2 earned run average in September, that is only through 3 starts, and fully expect some regression as in his last 2 months. He finished with a 7.99 earned run average in July and 6.85 earned run average in August. The Braves are projected to go with right-hander Charlie Morton to start. Morton is 8-6 in 28 starts with a 4.17 earned run average and a 1.19 WHIP, and is a completely different pitcher at home than on the road. Away from Truist Park, Morton has a 5.38 earned run average with a 1.36 WHIP, but at home he has a 2.96 earned run average with a 1.01 WHIP. I get the reasoning for wanting to take a shot on a big underdog in most spots, but this is not one of them. The Braves are in playoff mode, trying to chase down the Mets for the division lead and have a much more winnable series than the Mets do in Milwaukee, so this could be a golden opportunity for the Braves that they can't miss out on. I also want no part of the Nationals with Patrick Corbin on the hill and Charlie Morton stepped up his play in recent weeks. Lean towards the Morton at home in this game, as losing to a team like the Nationals could hinder their playoff spot and any chance of a repeat World Series title. So the Atlanta Braves to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Braves have absolutely dominated this series this season with their offense. The 31 home runs in 13 games is almost unthinkable. Facing Corbin, with his 18 losses and near 10 earned run average against them, is a recipe for an offensive explosion. The Nationals themselves are 5-4-1 to the over in their last 10 games. Atlanta is 6-4. Washington will get some runs off of Morton, who possesses an earned run average over 4 in his last 5 starts. Look for a high-scoring affair in this one. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Mets versus Milwaukee Brewers. 2 teams in the thick of the playoff race in the National League meet Tuesday as the Milwaukee Brewers host the New York Mets in the second game of a 3-game series. The Mets come into this series having won 2 of 3 games. New York is gallantly fighting off a challenge by the Atlanta Braves at the top of the National League East and has won each of the last 4 leading up to the start of this series on Monday, after sweeping in the Pittsburgh Pirates in a 4-game series. New York has struggled when playing in Milwaukee, but the Mets have won each of their last 4 overall and 4 of the last 5 on the road. New York's team earned run average is 7th best in baseball at 3.51 and will have Carlos Carrasco on the mound. The right-hander is coming off a strong outing last Thursday after allowing 4 hits and 1 run while striking out 11 in 6 innings. Carlos Carrasco has been solid all season long, and he's getting better, which includes allowing 14 hits and 3 earned runs in his last 14.2 innings. Aaron Ashby is coming off a shoulder injury that's prevented him from pitching in the last month, and the Brewers have lost 11 of his last 12 starts. It's hard to make a case for the Milwaukee Brewers in this spot, so the New York Mets money line is our full game side pick. As good as Carrasco has been as of late, he is facing a team that has been hitting well as they continue their playoff push. In the last 5 games, the Brewers have averaged 5.6 runs per game. The Mets are one of the best offensive teams in baseball, and they have averaged 5.2 runs per game in their last 10 games, potentially going against one of the Brewers' weakest starters or a bullpen, which ranks 18th in baseball. I see the Mets at least hitting their average over the last 10 games, probably more. The Brewers should tack on enough runs to push this past the total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.